A.5.25 defines a deliberate and repeatable approach to evaluating the flood of alerts generated by modern monitoring tools. Its scope includes every event that could indicate a potential compromise, service disruption, or data breach, regardless of origin. The objective is not only to confirm whether an event represents an incident, but also to decide the proper course of action: escalate, contain, or close. Documented decision criteria ensure that analysts apply consistent standards even under pressure. Traceability is paramount. Every decision, from the moment an alert is received to its final disposition, must be logged with context and rationale. This systematic approach ensures that future auditors, regulators, or investigators can reconstruct how and why the organization acted, proving diligence and proportionality in every case. A clear event taxonomy forms the foundation for disciplined triage. Distinguishing between alerts, events, and incidents ensures that not every signal receives the same response intensity. Alerts are raw notifications generated by tools, while events are those alerts that meet specific correlation or relevance thresholds. Incidents represent confirmed violations of security or policy requiring coordinated action. Severity tiers, ranging from informational to critical, anchor decisions to business impact rather than technical noise. Weighting across confidentiality, integrity, and availability dimensions provides nuance, helping analysts understand the trade-offs and potential consequences of action or inaction. Where applicable, regulatory triggers, such as potential personal data exposure, overlay this taxonomy, ensuring that compliance obligations are recognized early in the decision process. A well-designed triage workflow gives structure to chaos. The process begins with intake, collecting signals from monitoring systems, and moves through correlation, enrichment, and finally, verdict. Correlation combines related alerts into unified events, while enrichment adds context such as asset ownership, user identity, and threat intelligence indicators. Ownership handoff must be governed by service-level agreements and tracked through ticketing systems, ensuring that nothing stalls in the queue. Once sufficient evidence exists, analysts reach a verdict: escalate as an incident, contain immediately, or close as benign. Each workflow ends with feedback to detection and tuning teams, creating a learning loop that continuously improves accuracy and reduces false positives. Over time, this closed-cycle triage process becomes the organization's engine for operational clarity. Signal validation and noise control are critical in reducing analyst fatigue and ensuring focus on genuine threats. Duplication mechanisms identify repeated alerts from the same root cause, while suppression rules minimize distraction from known benign events. Context enrichment, drawing data from asset inventories, identity directories, and historical logs, adds meaning to otherwise generic alerts. Reputation feeds and threat intelligence corroborate external context, helping analysts gauge credibility. Finally, confidence scoring systems weight multiple factors: source reliability, severity, and correlation strength before escalation. These steps convert chaotic data streams into prioritized insights, allowing scarce human attention to be directed where it matters most. A strong validation process turns the Security Operations Center from an alert factory into a decision-making command post. Decision-making authority and escalation paths define who acts, how fast, and with what authority. Tiered roles, analyst, duty manager, and incident commander, prevent confusion during critical moments. Analysts handle initial triage, duty managers decide on escalation, and incident commanders coordinate multi-team responses. Automatic escalation rules should trigger immediate attention for critical indicators, such as confirmed privilege escalation or data exfiltration. Business owners must be engaged quickly when affected assets are high value or customer-facing. Legal and privacy teams require early involvement whenever personal or regulated data may be implicated. These predefined authorities and triggers prevent paralysis and ensure that escalation decisions are defensible and timely under even the most stressful conditions. Preserving evidence integrity starts at the assessment stage, not after confirmation. As soon as an event appears suspicious, responders must capture volatile data and key logs before remediation actions overwrite them. Chain of custody tracking begins immediately, documenting who collected what, when, and how. Time sync synchronization across tools ensures accurate temporal correlation for later forensic reconstruction. The principle of minimal touch applies. Analysts interact with potential evidence as little as possible, prioritizing preservation over speed when uncertainty exists. Proper evidence handling at this early phase prevents contamination and ensures that subsequent investigations remain admissible, whether for internal disciplinary action or external legal proceedings. Effective communication during assessment prevents both information silos and rumor-driven confusion. Initial situation reports should include uncertainty markers, clearly distinguishing confirmed facts from assumptions. Distribution lists for stakeholders, including executives, legal teams, and communication staff, must be predefined so that updates flow consistently. Secure channels are selected according to classification level, ensuring sensitive information isn't inadvertently leaked during coordination. The cadence of updates should be proportional to severity. High-impact cases may require hourly briefings, while lower-severity events can follow daily summaries. These structured communications maintain alignment across technical, business, and leadership functions, ensuring decisions are made on verified information rather than speculation. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. A.5.26 takes the structured assessments of A.5.25 and converts them into decisive, coordinated action. It defines the complete incident response lifecycle: detect, contain, eradicate, recover, and review, and ensures that every stage is governed by defined roles, tested playbooks, and detailed documentation. The goal is not just to respond quickly, but to respond correctly, balancing urgency with discipline. A mature response capability integrates technical operations, legal consultation, supplier coordination, and business communication under a unified command. Every action leaves an auditable trail of who did what, when, and why. In essence, A5.26 operationalizes readiness, turning preparation into performance through a measured, evidence-based process that can withstand scrutiny long after the crisis is past. Containment strategies are the first line of defense once an incident is confirmed. The goal is to stop the spread of harm without destroying valuable evidence or disrupting unaffected systems. Immediate steps may include isolating compromised endpoints, disabling network interfaces, and revoking potentially compromised credentials. Blocking malicious indicators such as IP addresses, domains, or file hashes at network and identity layers prevents recurrence. If the attack targets specific applications, throttling or temporarily disabling affected services can halt propagation while preserving the broader environment. Compensating controls, such as temporary firewalls or conditional access rules, maintain business continuity during remediation. Containment is as much about strategic restraint as it is about speed, acting decisively but not destructively to limit damage while preserving clarity. Eradication and remediation address the root cause of the incident once containment stabilizes the situation. Analysts remove malware, backdoors, and residual persistence mechanisms left by attackers. Patching vulnerable systems and updating misconfigured components prevent re-entry through the same vector. Credential hygiene follows closely, rotating keys, tokens, and passwords that may have been exposed. Where cloud workloads or APIs are involved, configuration baselines are reapplied to ensure integrity. Each remediation step must be validated through targeted testing to confirm that the threat has been neutralized. This phase demands both precision and documentation. Evidence of each action taken aligned to its corresponding root cause element, proving that the eradication was complete and not cosmetic. Recovery begins only when confidence in eradication is verified. Systems are restored in controlled stages, prioritizing those with the highest business impact. Each restored system must pass integrity checks and validation tests to confirm that it is clean and operational. Business users play a critical role in confirming functionality, particularly for customer-facing processes where downtime translates directly to financial loss or reputational damage. During this period, monitoring intensity remains elevated. Anomalies in performance or behavior may indicate residual compromise. Change freezes stay in effect until stability is proven, ensuring that no additional modifications obscure the restoration process. Once validated, recovery concludes with documented sign-off by both technical leads and business owners, symbolizing a collective return to normal operations. Incident coordination depends on clarity of roles and command hierarchy. The incident commander acts as the central authority, empowered to make operational decisions and coordinate across teams. Supporting roles include technical leads, communications officers, legal advisors, and liaison contacts for suppliers or regulators. Task boards, often digital war rooms, track assignments and progress, ensuring accountability for each action. When incidents span multiple parties, suppliers must participate under the contractual terms defined earlier, aligning priorities and evidence handling. Clear ownership for customer and regulatory notifications avoids duplication or delay. This structured coordination transforms what could be chaotic firefighting into a synchronized operation where every participant understands both their responsibility and the larger mission objective. Forensics and legal considerations underpin the credibility of incident response. Imaging standards must be established for both physical hosts and cloud workloads, ensuring captured data remains admissible and untainted. Log preservation policies should specify minimum retention periods, with legal holds applied when investigations are ongoing or litigation is anticipated. Evidence repositories should enforce immutability, preventing modification or deletion once stored. Legal and privacy teams assess whether data exposure has occurred, determining notification obligations and potential liabilities. By integrating legal counsel into the response workflow, organizations ensure that every technical action aligns with compliance and litigation requirements. Properly executed forensics transform incident response from reactive cleanup into a foundation for informed recovery and legal defensibility. Metrics bring objectivity and maturity to incident response. Standard measurements, mean time to detect, contain, eradicate, and recover serve as core performance indicators. These metrics should be trended over time to show progress in detection speed and remediation efficiency. Additional indicators, such as false escalation rates or near-miss frequencies, reveal the precision of triage processes. Repeat incidents tied to similar root causes indicate where systemic improvements are needed. Compliance with regulatory notification timelines demonstrates operational reliability and awareness of legal obligations. Dashboards translating these metrics into executive-friendly visuals ensure that leadership understands the true state of readiness. Quantifying performance turns incident response into a measurable business capability rather than an abstract security promise. Despite best efforts, many organizations still encounter recurring pitfalls. Alert fatigue and triage bottlenecks can delay recognition of real threats. Decisions made without documentation erode the chain of evidence, complicating both audits and legal reviews. Premature recovery, bringing systems back online before full eradication, often leads to reinfection or re-exploitation. Ownership confusion, especially during multi-party incidents, wastes critical time and can lead to duplicated or conflicting efforts. Avoiding these pitfalls requires continual training, documentation discipline, and clear escalation protocols. The key is consistency, ensuring that every responder, regardless of shift or location, operates from the same playbook and standard of accountability. Modern incident response increasingly depends on automation and continuous learning. Security orchestration, automation, and response, SOAR platforms, accelerate containment by executing predefined playbooks, blocking indicators, isolating systems, or resetting credentials within seconds. Automated enrichment pulls threat intelligence, asset details, and user context into each ticket, allowing analysts to focus on decision-making rather than data gathering. Tabletop and Purple Team exercises refine both human and automated workflows, exposing friction points and misaligned assumptions. Every incident, whether real or simulated, must feed lessons back into risk assessments, detection tuning, and control improvement plans. Over time, this feedback loop transforms incidents from failures into opportunities for growth, strengthening resilience across technical, procedural, and human domains. A.5.25 and A.5.26 together define the operational core of an organization's defensive capability. A.25 ensures that signals are validated, decisions are defensible, and evidence is preserved from the first moment of detection. A.26 then executes that response with discipline across containment, eradication, recovery, and review, turning readiness into tangible performance. These controls elevate incident management from isolated firefights to a mature, data-driven enterprise function grounded in accountability. The lessons learned through this lifecycle metrics, forensic insights, and operational feedback become the bridge to A.5.27 and A.5.28, where post-incident learning and evidence management institutionalize resilience as a continuous business process.